right. We are one day away from one of the most important runoff elections we have ever had in this country. Georgia goes to the polls tomorrow to decide who controls the Senate. And most of you know that Mitch McConnell has been controlling the Senate for, how long now? 8 years now. And he has been horrific. He is extremely partisan. He refused to work with Obama. He vowed to make Obama a one-term president, so I guess it's been 12 years now. And he basically refuses to work with Republican or with Democrats at all. He's just so narrowly partisan that nothing is going to get done under Joe Biden's presidency as long as Mitch McConnell is still the majority leader. In fact, all of the groundwork that they're laying now with degrading people's belief in free and fair elections and degrading people's belief that this was a legitimate election, they're delegitimizing Joe Biden, which is going to even give Mitch McConnell more power to obstruct in the next 4 years under Joe Biden. So we have this runoff election tomorrow in which millions of people have already voted in early elections, in early voting. If you're a Georgia resident, make sure you get out to vote tomorrow. This is so important. There are 2 seats up for grabs. And if the Democrats win both seats, we will gain control over the Senate. I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed. The state went to Joe Biden. I am hoping these 2 Senate seats also go to Joe Biden. But what I want to talk about is this weird strategy, if we can call it that, of Donald Trump trying to convince people not to vote tomorrow. He's being a petulant child. There's no other way to describe it. I didn't win. You guys won't give me my ways. We'll show them we're not going to vote tomorrow. And there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of reasons I think he's doing this. Number one, I think it's very clear he's going to start his own party. I think it's very clear. And I don't know if Republicans are still hoping that he'll stay on their party. I don't know what's going on, but I think that's part of it. I think he really is trying to distance himself from the Republicans who are still believing in Constitution, country, and law and order. And he's trying to just create this crazy third party of people who just believe him. Nothing else. No more morals, no more values, no more Constitution, no more family values. But he's trying to create a third party all about Trumpism. So that's part of it. But by giving the Senate to Democrats, he's shooting himself in the foot. So I'm wondering, what is the strategy? Why is he trying to convince Republicans not to vote tomorrow? What's the end game here? What is he going to gain by the Democrats taking over the Senate? Which means Democrats will have all 3, the Senate, the House, and the presidency. I'm a little worried about the answer to that question. And I wanted to do this short video just to give you guys all something to think about. We wondered during the election, why was he convincing people not to vote by mail? And we now know the answer to that, because it gave him fodder to say, oh, Joe Biden won in the middle of the night. How does that happen? We all went to bed and I was winning, and then Joe Biden won in the middle of the night. Well, yeah, because they were counting absentee ballots because you wouldn't let them start before the election. You and your party challenged every state that wanted to start counting early because they knew there would be a record number, and you said no. So they couldn't start counting until election day. And then when the counts were coming in, you call it fraud because the counts were coming in late. Yeah, makes no sense. So we know why he was trying to tell his people, the Republicans during the presidential election, not to vote by mail, not to vote early. But what's his end game? What is he going to gain by Republicans staying home tomorrow and not voting and Democrats winning? Could it be more fuel for the fire of his angry base for revolution between now and Inauguration Day? That's one thought. That's one theory, right? If they feel, right now, they feel like they've got some power because the Senate holds power because they have the majority. But what if they lose that overnight? Could it fire up his base enough to try to overthrow the government? Now, I don't want to scare you. I know that there's a lot of fear, and I'm going to talk about that in my next video. There's a lot of fear. A lot of people are really, really concerned about what this unhinged psychopath is going to do between now and Inauguration Day. So I don't mean to scare you, but I think it's also, while it's not, we don't want to live in fear because it's not good for any of us. It's not good for our mental health. It's not good for our physical health. I think it's important to ask the questions. That's what this channel is about, right? Asking the questions and digging deeper and asking why. It makes no sense, especially when it makes no sense. Why is Donald Trump trying to convince Republicans to stay home? It's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy when they lose. It's going to further victimize them, make them feel victimized. I mean, that's kind of the root of Trump's base, right? That they're victims of some big, huge conspiracy theory to take all their white privilege away, right? So that's one thought. What is his angle? What is his angle? Why is he almost deliberately trying to make Republicans lose tomorrow? In that phone call, he even threatened the Secretary of State of Georgia with that. If you don't give me what I want, I'm going to tell people not to vote tomorrow for the Republican candidates, and you're going to be sorry, is pretty much kind of what he said. Maybe not in so many words. I don't know. I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What do you think is his strategy behind telling people to stay home tomorrow? And in case you haven't seen it, watch the press conference today by one of the Georgia legislators about truth versus myth about the election. Really, really good. And one of the things that I think makes him stand above as far as who's really a hero to our country, Donald Trump or someone like Gabrielle Sterling, who is willing to stand up and say, no, the president's lying, he's wrong, and here's why. And in his press conference, he also said, get out and vote. No matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you think somebody is trying to steal the election, the tool and the power that you have is your vote. And on the other hand, we have a president who's saying, don't vote. Who's the patriot? Who's the one who really cares about America and Americans in this scenario? Like I keep saying, it's really important to stop for a minute, check your impulses and check your feelings and your emotions and your anger, and start asking some critical questions. Why? Why is Donald Trump telling me not to vote? That's the very essence of what it means to be American and to live in a democracy or a democratic republic if you're a hair splitter. If I'm really a patriot who cares about America, why am I supporting a president who's telling me not to vote? Because even if, as Gabrielle Sterling said, even if, and it's not true, even if there are powers trying to steal the election, wouldn't it make sense that we turn out in massive numbers to make it harder rather than sit home? So we'll see in the next couple of days what Donald Trump has up his sleeve and why he's trying to convince people to stay home and not vote in Georgia tomorrow. But if by some chance you're in Georgia, you know people in Georgia, get on the phone, call them, make sure they vote. It is so important. We need people to vote tomorrow. We need Democratic. We need to get Mitch McConnell out. Nothing is ever going to get done in this country until we get rid of Mitch McConnell. All right. Hope you enjoyed another one. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Good luck to all of us. Vote in Georgia. See you later.